Hey guys, Trappy John coming after another Watcher of the Realms video. Alright, this video is going to be a very short and sweet and clean one for those of you that are in my community that are wanting to check out this game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the mistakes I've made so far. I've actually got a list going right now of kind of beginner tips, tricks, so on and so forth. I'll try to make that video maybe tomorrow or Monday, but I want to go ahead and I want to start off with the mistakes I have made, because maybe then for some of you who are maybe ahead of me in the game can also pick up on a couple other tips slash tricks that maybe you missed out on as well. All right, so those who know me know I am no stranger to one, spending money on video games, and two, playing gacha type games. Now, this is my first tower defense game, so what does this mean? This means that I have a lot of knowledge base when it comes to gachas and certain aspects of this type of game. However, playing tower defense games was never my strong point. I never really checked them out. I never really had a chance. I didn't know of any that really caught my attention, so to speak. Watcher of the Realms, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely caught my attention. However, because I don't have the background per se in tower defense games, and I have more of a background in the gacha PvE type of games, I made a few mistakes. So let's talk about them, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes or continue to make the same mistakes. So let's go ahead and let's start off with the basic ones. So right now, guilds. I don't know what guild I'm in. I'm actually in the process of trying to find another guild. If you guys know of a good one, let me know. I'd be happy to join it. But joining a guild is very important, very impactful, just like on any other games. You can get guild quests, you get guild rankings, obviously members help, yada, yada, yada. But also, when it comes to guilds, one of the things that you always want to make sure you're doing is the guild boss. Now, one of the mistakes I always made is like Raid Shadow Legends, I log in, I do my clan boss first thing every morning. Why do I do this? So I can get the guaranteed rewards and so I don't forget. However, guild boss, because it's a tower defense game all day long, your characters are getting stronger all day long, right? You're farming gear, you're farming promotion materials, you're farming just whatever, campaign maybe, and getting XP, leveling up your characters. If I were to go through and go ahead and do my battle now, and then I were to do, say, one end of day, the numbers are going to fluctuate. I'm going to have a lot better results waiting until the end of the day to go ahead and do my guild boss, versus if I were to say, do them right now. Notice up here in the top right, literally in the next 13 hours is when I can do this. It is 2:22 p.m. EST right now for me. So this means that I have until almost 4 in the morning to do these. And I'm just now really getting going. So it definitely makes sense to hold off on this. I have not been doing that, and it's been a massive hindrance because I'm not getting the rewards that I possibly could be. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about, gear raids. Gear raids seem great from the beginning because when you look at your heroes, you're like, man, my heroes are naked. They don't have nothing. Like when you come down here and you're like, oh yeah, this guy, he looks kind of good, or they look kind of good. I want to equip gear. Yes, gear is great. However, farming low tier gear doesn't make any sense. Don't do that. Joy! All right, but yeah, farming low tier gear doesn't make any sense. It's just going to waste your resources. So definitely make sure that you take a look at your characters and what their kits are more than you take a look at their gear, right? Because if you're going to waste time and energy essentially in here, you're going to get a lot of bad pieces of gear. Because honestly, even if we look at where I'm at in the game, until I'm down here to stage 10, yeah, really stage 10 is when I can actually start farming gear, or I should be farming gear, I should say. Notice that the recommended BP is 139. If we were to look at my current build, right, at 86 here needed, I'm at 103. So I'm not too far off, and that's with the wrong person there. This should be this person there. And there you go. Now I'm at ooh, that actually went down. That was a bad decision, John. It's that additional boost you get from him having the rule there. But anyways, you can see I'm getting close to it, but I'm not quite there yet. So doing this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, getting a few pieces of gear from here to get something rolling on your character, that is one thing. Make sure you do it quick, efficiently. Don't waste a lot of energy on it. But you can come over here and you can buy that gear. If you check out the Dwarven Association every single day, you can see right here, I can go buy a purple hammer right now. Go buy a purple breastplate right now. I can buy a shield amulet. These are accessories. You can buy them with gold. Do you think gold's a problem in this game? I got 4.2 million gold. Gold's not a problem, so definitely keep that in mind, because you may want to buy some gear starting out, buy promotion materials starting out, so that way you can really progress your account. I myself didn't do that. You know, I took the brute force type approach, and it didn't really work out well for me. So definitely keep that in mind as well. So that way you aren't wasting resources, because that's the last thing you want to do is waste your resources. Also, make sure you're doing your idles. Like, even if you're not going to play for the day, log in, get your rewards. It's fine. They're idle progression rewards, being logged into the game. Download the PC client. Boom, you're done. Also, one other thing that I didn't really pay attention to is I haven't really been doing a whole lot of my weekly quests. You should totally be doing these almost every day, right? Do as many as you can, get these knocked out, because the Golden Dragon Pass gives you a lot of resources. It gives you a crap ton of resources, and if you actually pay for it, you can see at the bottom here, you can get basically the legendary summons, the chance for them. You can get a lot of different various items here that make a big difference on your account once you hit level 50, and it'll make a big progress and big gains in your account. So make sure you're following and paying attention, like, hey, I'm doing these weekly quests, because I wasn't doing that. That was one of the mistakes I've been making is I've been just playing the game as I can. I'm a casual, right? I don't have that much time, and I also do content on Diablo 4, so I'm constantly playing that game, and then I'm kind of running this in the background a little bit, and it takes a little bit of association with, like, hey, what am I doing? How am I doing this? Also, don't blow your summons, guys. Literally don't blow them. Make sure that what you're looking for is what makes sense. So notice that we have 4 different banners here to pull on. Make sure you're pulling on the correct banner for you. Notice that this is Divine Summoning 2. This is Invocation Spirits 2, right? And you can see here, same type of deal. Now, notice that this has a 5 times rate up for a legendary champion. However, this has a designated hero champion. So pay attention to which one do you need on your account. Do you need a good marksman piercing, or do you just want to roll the dice? Be aware of that. I made the mistake when I started of just pulling all my shards all the time, not realizing this game even had 2 times and essentially 10 times, or well, it's actually 5 times the rate up to get the champion that you really want and or need. So definitely don't make that mistake either. Also, pay attention. So I didn't really pay that much attention at the beginning, because I was like, oh, this is easy. I'm just drag and drop, call it good. No problem. Well, yeah, there are a few problems. So I started out and I invested way too many resources in this guy. Now, Rex isn't terrible. He worked as an okay blocker there for a while in melee. And Borat, I guess, kind of does something. He's kind of useless in my opinion, like, especially once you get going. Like, you're just not really going to use him. Like, it is nice to have his modifier here, right? This is very huge. But overall, I wasted a lot of resources promoting him when really I had this guy all along. And he does a much better, Baron is a much better blocker and physical melee than any of the other ones. So, and I also I got lucky and I got Azhor, who's not necessarily like a SS tier. It's more like an S tier. So both of these guys really are like S tier. But between those two, they make amazing blockers. So I was wasting so many resources on these guys down here when I could have just actually been investing it in here. And that also brings me to my next point. So you want to make sure you focus on your starting champions. As far as what's your initial reaction going to be, focus on getting a very good blocker and a very good DPS. For example, Setram is my main DPS at the moment because he has the widest range. I bundle him with Nyx, and both of those do massive amounts of damage for me, especially when I lead with Baron as my physical block. I prioritized and look at how I'm leveling these. Look at they're all kind of very similar. They all have gear that's all equipped, right? I didn't necessarily prioritize this correctly. If I was smart, I would prioritize this, and this, and then just let everyone else naturally level up and put some gear on them. That would make more sense for my account than trying to keep everyone equidistance. And I didn't really realize that because once again, used to raid those other games where one champion will fully carry you, right? In this game, one champion will not fully carry you. You will have to add more. And that's only because even if, let's say you focus on all of your Baron here, let's say you just make your main blocker. You just go, yep, 100% this guy. Well, he can only block up to, up to 3, I need to see his attributes. There it is. He can only block up to 3 people at a time. So what happens when he gets overwhelmed? Well, then you're SOL, right? So that's why I say that you do want to focus on a couple of DPS and your blocker. Also a healer. Healers are massive. So we have Lightlock. He's not really a great healer, I'm not going to lie, but I don't have another massive healer. Theowyn's actually pretty good too. I really should invest in him a little bit, but I was using Camille for the longest time. She's rare. She does the job. She's actually a little bit better in my opinion than Lightlock. But Lightlock luckily has a few other things that he can do other than heal. He can also attack, and it makes a difference, right? Not having a healer and not focusing on a healer would definitely hurt your progress moving forward. One other thing I can definitely say is pay attention to your energy consumption. I'm not really doing a good job of this. I need to be focusing on this more so that way this is not happening. I should not have this much of an overabundance. Now I am a level 24, so I'm still very much progressing in the game, but I've been making a lot of mistakes, and I feel like I should be a lot further currently than what I am with the amount that I've actually played, because I've played this pretty good amount actually, because I can play it at work kind of on the side while I'm working. So I feel like I'm maybe a little behind, and that's probably because I haven't been focusing on the right things in the game. And definitely one of the things to focus on is going to be make sure you're doing your tide every day. Guild boss end of day. Promotions are huge. Okay, promotions are literally huge. Do not do XP raid. Don't do it. Just do your campaigns. You will keep unlocking higher and higher tiers. Notice that I can't go to the next stage because I need to go to N78. Notice that it's 83. So if you're farming down here, chances are your recommended battle power is much, much higher than that. So don't waste your energy on it. Go all the way until you get to this point and then start using XP raid if you really need it. By that time, you probably won't. But promotions are huge. So when you look at promotions here, let's go promotion. You can see here, like, what did I get on these? Notice that as you go through here, the first one gave me a new ability. Actually, you know what? Let's find one that's not promoted. There we go. This would be a better representation. So sense of blood, that'd be a skill unlocked. Look at the range, stats up, stats up, stats up. But if I went ahead and went to what, tier 2 for this guy, that was his overall range. That makes a big difference. So it's okay to kind of farm and waste energy, so to speak, on getting your promotional materials, right? Getting your materials that are really going to help you with your promotion of your characters, than it is to waste it on, say, XP raids or on gear raids, so on and so forth. Getting these done first makes a massive improvement to the overall amount of damage you're going to get out of your champions. So definitely keep that in mind, and don't really prioritize like, okay, I'm not going to do this one, this one, and this one. Make sure you're trying to get them all as high as you possibly can. I'm getting to the point now where I'm going to have to go and start figuring out how to farm legendary extracts here. Now, I do know that I can get these and I can farm them. They are obtainable. I do know this. I understand that they are obtainable, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. It looks like I need to do probably this stage here, and I think I can just barely squeeze it out. And as you can see here, you can get up to 1 to 2 of them from these higher tier ones, and then these ones here, this is where stuff gets a little interesting, because now you're going to get these materials, and I'm not there yet. But anyways, promotions are huge. Make sure you're doing them. Make sure you're paying attention to them. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it good on this video at this point, mainly because I don't want to overwhelm you with too many mistakes that I've done, and it also gives you a little bit of tips and tricks as well while you're watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. I am enjoying this game. I'm going to keep trying to cover it. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a little better at making daily content on it, but it is what it is. I'll get to it when I can. I am very much a casual representation of this game type of player. Like I said, because I do have my main channel that does D4 and I work full time. So it's just one of those situations where I'm going to keep playing this because I'm enjoying it. I'm going to try to make content for you guys as much as I can. If I miss a day or two, apologize. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.